such a thing as? What does that actually mean? Okay, so any of these can be used, but the last one is the one that is most sort of obvious, I think, and that they'll be expected. But I'll go over this quite fast because it is quite complicated, but it's still interesting. So there's a linguistic issue here. So could too much democracy actually ever exist? Okay, so is democracy something instead which you either have it or you don't have it? Okay, so for instance, let's think of an example now. Um, let's say for example, I have water. Okay, so I either have water or I don't have water. I can't say, oh, I've got a tiny bit of water. You wouldn't say I've got one molecule of water. You just have water or you don't. Is it the same with democracy? So one country has it and one country doesn't. It's not the case that so it's an ideal, okay? And a lot of people would actually argue that. They would say that democracy is something which means the people rule, and you can't have a little bit of that. Nowhere actually has it. It's just this sort of ideal thing that we might aim for, but no one can actually have, and therefore you can't have too much of it because no one has ever had it in the first place. It's an ideal thing that some countries aim for. Then the second one is the historical one. So it could be asking, is there such a thing as, in the sense of, have we ever seen too much democracy? Okay, so some of the examples that people would talk about would be the French Revolution, which for historians out there will know that that descended into the terror. So some people see that as being an excess of demolishing old forms of rule like monarchy, and the people sort of running wild, essentially. And then you could talk about specific examples like referenda, like the Brexit referenda in the UK, for instance.